Why hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings, a LOTRO adventure. And we're doing quests through the awesome, fantastic new region here in Moria. It's really, really cool. We're inside the Goblin Orcs encampments doing things. I hope you're having a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth and continue this adventure with me today. Hope you have a nice drink to relax, enjoy yourself. And you know what, maybe throw a like on there if you're one of my regulars or someone who found it and you just enjoy the content. I appreciate it greatly. It helps out the channel. All right, here we go. For every dwarf like, we'll mine more treasure. That's what we'll do. All right. Ah, ha ha! Out of our way, goblins. We have quests to complete, and you are bothering us. All right. And man, he just keeps throwing stuff at me. I like the echoing in here, though. All right, another one bites the dust. I'm wounded. Wow, that's a pretty strong wound there. All right, you have done much to hinder the orcs and their attempts to settle within Gloomington. The orcs' banners depicting the hostility toward the dwarves of Middle-earth will no longer stand an affront to the memory of Durin the Deathless. Well done. Yes, we've done it. We've done it, Voice of the Rings. All right. That's the last bomb we have to get. Ouch. I must disarm your bomb. Sappers are basically explosives they make. While it is likely that more orcs and goblins will attempt to settle within Gloomington, you have done the Longbeards and the Gilbil Zakar a great service by driving them off and putting an end to their destructive plans. Haha, we've done it. All right.
Get him! Yeah!
I like the little goblin voice actors.
Die! I'm a goblin now! Die, dwarf!
It's really fun to do that voice, though. Sounds like something like the Joker would do from Batman. He's kind of insane, like a goblin. The Echo Horn lies half buried in rubble. Okay, so if you don't remember from last episode, there's these cool echo horns, right? That basically the dwarves are using to fend off it like hurts the goblins and orcs' ears, so they don't want to be around. So we're gonna try to use it to break a leader's knowledge. How do I get up there? That's the real question, though. Oh, there we go. Uh-oh, we have a crystal grim. No more, no more. They're like evil spirit, elemental spirits. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so let's topple the echo horn. A deep resonating vibration around you. Hear a harsh voice in answer. He says, "You stay away from that dwarf. I've had enough of that ringing." This guy's pretty tough, actually. "It was me. I broke the old curse. What makes you think you have any chance?" Basically, the dwarves had a thing where it kept the orcs away. He was, "The man said it was ours." Being the Agmarun, or the servants of the evil men that serve the Witch King, so you know he's kind of long gone. "Although it is unlikely to stem the tide of the orcish invaders of Gloomington, you have done well to put an end to Hathanark, Cursebreaker. In his absence, the Gilbil Zakar, which is the other group of dwarves, not the Longbeards, right, the other clan, will be able to more easily repel the orcs of Gundabad and reclaim the hallowed caverns of Durin the Deathless." So again, both the clans are trying to reclaim their ancient homeland, right, of the original 7 dwarven fathers, 7 dwarven clans, blah, blah, blah. You remember that part. Just a little refresher for people who maybe are watching this episode without watching any of the previous episodes. And if you just found the channel, maybe you want to subscribe. Well, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd be down. If you're down, I'm down. All right, let's see. We also have a kinship on CrickHollow. If you guys ever want to join us, go to one of my live streams. I have a Discord link that's good for a week on every live stream. You're welcome to join us, even if you're not on our server. If you just want to hang out with us in Discord, still welcome to join. If you're just, as long as you're a subscriber, that's all I asked, and that's free. It's free to be a subscriber on YouTube. So, I don't think it's too much to ask. Echoes of the past. Realign the mirrors. Okay, so I'm trying to realign them all. So I need to find a couple more. I have a new goat mount here. It's kind of cool. He's got some fireworks and he's got some cool eyes. His horns do jab into my sides, but you know what? That's okay. It's like how he... It's like that Avatar show. You know how they have the little head thing and they like connect to their little mount so they can like hear their thoughts and move around? That's basically the same thing. He just jabs his horns into my shoulders. It's a joke, guys. You're supposed to laugh. All right, let's open this thing up. All right, we realigned one of them. What is this scary epic music happening? I'm like, I feel like I should make a face like that. Just like, no! Ouch, these sappers, man, they're mean. How do I get up? How do I get to it? Can I just click? Oh, I could just click it from here. Sweet. Okay, I don't have to actually get up on the rock. Ah, well, that's nice. All right, another one aligned. So the rest of them are around here, it says. Weird little glowworms. Ew. Here we go. I can make a horn sound. There we go. Since there's no actual sound effect for the horns, I was kind of hoping they'd make a sound effect for these like horn things. These so they're basically, these are like, they are like big speakers that like echo the sound around, and they make it where like the orcs just can't stand it and they run for their lives. Basically is the idea behind these for a lore thing, which is kind of cool idea. So not only are dwarves masters at water, air quality, lighting, right, underground, all this stuff, they're also masters of sounds. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, dwarves are pretty freaking ingenious. Like, I love that about dwarves. I think that's so cool. They're like, yeah, we have a kingdom underground, but we don't just live in a hole underground. We have farming, we have great sunlight, we have water systems, we have air systems, we even have giant speakers, so we can party sometimes, or just scare away orcs. It's like, oh, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. All right, so apparently there's another one back there. It's telling me there's one over here. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I see it. We're gonna go around. So I don't want to fight all the orcs again. So we're gonna run around them. We're gonna run around the orcs. Hi guys. And then don't mind us. We're only turning on your favorite speaker systems. See, the orc neighbors just love the dwarves because they just blast their bass speakers all day. I joke. Okay. There's that one, and then there's two more, and unfortunately it says they're kind of like inside. So there's one there, and that means I have to beat one sapper. Oh, and three creatures. Ow, man! Those explosions do a lot of damage. I mean, you know, gunpowder and an explosive thing. I wonder if does that do damage? Of course it does damage, Zollin. Come on. One more. All right, so there's one more back. I missed one. Darn it. I do like the fact that now with quests, it shows an area where they are, but if there's one left, it'll go from the area down to just one ring. That's something they didn't used to do like 3 years ago, and it was really hard because I loved it when they added the quest tracker, right? I love that. I'm going to have so many orcs behind me right now. The real question is, can I kill all these orcs without dying? That's a lot of orcs. We'll see. Foolish orcs and goblins. You stand nothing against Zollin Ironshield.
Die!
Now you die, goblin filth. Well, that is a yes. We can kill them all. That answers our question. Quite handily, actually. That's one of the reasons why I like Guardians, and I also like to solo quest with Guardians. I don't even have my shield out there, and I was able to handle that with no problem. All right. As several orcs flee back into the Deep's Grave, it appears that Spalv's speculations that realigning the echo horns around Drulok, which is the area we're in, has indeed unsettled. has indeed unsettled the orcs and hindered their efforts to gain a foothold in Gloomingtarn. Although some of the orcs appear to be fighting stubbornly against their own discomfort of the loud sound, and others flight from the Gloomingtarn has undone an advantage Gorgar's forces may have held against the Galbil Zakal. Gorgar, if you don't remember, is the leader of the Gundabad orcs in the story right now, and the Galbil Zakal are the other Dwarven clan. Sweet, we did it. So now we need to go up to that camp. Cool. We were successful in slaughtering the evil orcs. Don't knock me off my mount. Don't do it. Oh. Okay, well, I got knocked off my mount, so I'm gonna fight him. To the king! It's one of my favorite abilities. I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember, I think To the King a long time ago used to give movement speed too, which they removed, and I didn't really like that adjustment. That was many years ago. I'm talking like, this is like 5 years ago. I think it was when they made trees 5 or 6 years ago in LOTRO, when they did the trees for every class. I liked it that To the King gave you like, I think it gave you like 10 or 15% movement speed for 10 seconds. Which makes sense because of the ability's name, To the King. You're like knocking through an enemy to like save the king, right? Like that's the point of the ability. But it still does a bunch of damage and gives you some melee damage and makes you attack faster. So I guess that makes sense. And there's a very high chance to open a fellowship maneuver with it. A really intense stun, basically, which is good. All right, we are here, so we need to talk to, we get to talk to HERMATH. Yeah, I hope he has a voice actor I can copy. Otherwise, I'm going to make him a really cool voice, okay? Nothing? No voice? Let's just make sure. Does this guy have a voice?
At your service and your families.
He's got a cool voice. All right, let's try this again here. He doesn't. Thinking.
It is a good to see you, Zollin. Hergang informed me that you would be along soon enough. I trusted the orcs have been dealt with for the moment.
You tell HERMATH Stonehammer of your efforts to combat the orcs of Drukar.
It will not stop them for long, I fear, but it has brought us time, and that is enough. Until I kill them. For there is much to be done to reclaim Gloomingtarn, my friend, and I would not turn away one as skillful as yourself.
Well, thank you, sir.
Now then, Zollin. I know this will come as some surprise, but my granddaughter has not shied from voicing her misgivings about your companion. However, I believe I see something of myself in him. Spell is a curious dwarf, and he is well learned in the history of the dwarves. Indeed, Spell might prove invaluable to this expedition. I was hesitant to allow him to begin his survey unaccompanied, but with you here, I see no reason to keep him from his studies.
Sir, are you, what? What, you want me to watch him?
Besides, I need your help with another matter, my friend. After we established camp here at Watcher's Roost, I sent 2 companies to investigate some of the old passages of Gloomingtarn. One of my warriors, Vithilin, led his company to Glittering Groff, and another to Loker, led his to Urgremen.
Sir, I don't know where any of these names are.
No, don't worry about it. My scouts spied a few glass spiders near the entrance of Glittering Growth, but I know little of Ormungrenin myself. Unfortunately, neither company has returned or even sent word, be in good or ill. Needless to say, I have become concerned. Either they have made some great discovery, or some terrible fate has befallen them. If you find them in the course of Spell's survey, aid them as best you can. I would not leave any of my warriors behind. Go, Zollin, and tell Spelv that he may begin his survey in Glittering Groff and Orgren So long as you accompany him, of course. Keep it up. Wink, wink.
Yes, sir. We'll do that. Anyway, was that a good voice for him? I like that voice. I feel like he'd be really, like, epically gruff. Like, that. I mean, I think that's what his voice would be. I don't know. That's my guess. Does he have another quest for us?
I have another task for you, Zollin, before you leave. It is certain that orcs and men of the Iron Crown pose the most immediate threat to our efforts to secure Gloomington, but we must not lose sight of our truest purpose in Mount Gundabad. I speak, of course, of reclamation and its restoration.
HERMATH looks around sprawling caverns of Gloomington with a mix of awe and determination of his foes on his face, which I also do because this place is freaking awesome.
Merely winning a victory over our foes is not enough to honor the sacred halls of Durin the Deathless. We dwarves must...
He's the first dwarf, mind you. You guys don't remember that?
We dwarves must become the new stewards of Mount Gundabad. When I first led this expedition into Gloomington, I made note of several befouled crystal lamps on the banks of the Durzan Zangrom. Countless tales told of the glowing lights along the banks of the Dark Lake, and I would not make liars of my ancients, nor any of ours. Here, take my handkerchief. Okay. It is of a hardy cloth hardier than you might think, and it has cleaned worse. Believe me, polishing the crystal lamp, Zollin, and set the banks of the Durzan Rasing aglow once more.
What do you mean, sir?
Don't worry about it. Have a great day.
Should I be holding this? I feel like that was like the little bit of... See, the thing is, the writers in the Lord of the Rings Online are really, really, really good. And I try really hard. It's kind of fun that they didn't have a voice actor for him because that gives me my job here, right? To have fun for us on the channel. But if you can read it quick enough and read ahead, you can kind of get the gist of what's happening in the conversation, the way they write it, because they're really good writers and lore masters, the people who do the storytelling Lord of the Rings Online. So you can kind of see it was kind of a joke, like, haha, it's cleaned worse. What is it cleaned worse? It's like, what, did you use it as tissues or for something? Or did you clean blood off a blade? Like, what did you use it for that was worse than this, right? These horribly gross lamps, right? Anyway, I just thought that was a funny little, I like that. All right.
Long live Thorin Stonehelm. Long live Durin Stonehelm, sir.
Long live Thorin Stonehelm. I can't do the echo, but I'm sure that's what his voice is. We can actually turn off the echo effect to hear a more clearer version of his voice. I believe I can. Which one is it? Is that it?
What news do you bring?
It's not that one. One of these allows me to... I forget which one it is. Is it under... I thought it was under audio. You can disable combat sounds. Interesting. Maybe it is this one and I just have to play or... let's just click a play.
Hey, friend.
No, that's not it. I forget which one it is. I'll figure it out later. I actually did. I think I did a guide video on it. Or someone told me in one of our streams. Why don't you leave a comment? I'm sure if someone remembers. Which one is it that turns off the echo effect? It might be in the other settings. We're not going to worry about it right now.
At your service and your families.
At your service and your families. That sounds like his voice. What do you think?
Lord Stonehammer has given me permission to begin my survey of Gloomington. And you will accompany me? How wonderful, Zollin. Thank you so much. I had hoped to begin my survey at Akaben Aban.
Oh, that's quite a name.
Abekar Aban, the great stone of awakening. But upon my further thought, I suppose that it is better left for last. Yes, Glittering Groth and Ormgren shall be fine places to begin my studies. Spal begins to collect his things into his pockets and picks up a nearby axe. If it is all right with you, Zollin, I would like to set off at once.
I see nothing wrong with that. Let's do it. All right, so here he is. He's gonna come with me as my little buddy. We're gonna pick up some more quests. The cool thing is, so So Awakening. So I think that stone over there, this island is where like the dwarves originally awoke, is the idea. That's like their first forge they ever made. Okay. So this is kind of like a sacred cave. This is where like Alyu the Smith put them to sleep with the blessing of Iluvatar, right? And then Iluvatar gave them souls and they woke up after the elves, right? Because technically they were created first. So this is kind of like a sacred cave to the dwarves, right? Anyway, very cool. We're going to do more in the next episode, my friends. Have a great day at Middle-earth. Stay happy. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully my voiceovers are getting a little... I enjoy doing dwarves because I can get those the easiest with the least... Like, well, I wouldn't say easiest, but I like dwarves a lot, so it's fun to kind of do different kinds of dwarven voices all over the spectrum. But you guys have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons. Thank you, Skumley, for being a Royal Guard. Subscribe button. Next episode's up there. Over there's LOTRO Tale, where I do lots of voiceovers in the game. And again, I'm always trying to improve my voiceovers, which I think my very first episodes of LOTRO Tale are great and all, but as a creator, I still enjoy them. But I definitely think I've improved over the years. Years being just 2. But hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Baruch Kazad, Kuzad I Menu. Stay happy. See ya.